Baik ya, bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin. Assalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin. Sayyidina wa Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Rabbi shrahli sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Respected my dear sisters and brothers, Barik, Dafala, Rian, Adisena, Fairuz Tama, Zahra, Hanafi, Iqbal, Amanda, Salma, Safitri, Aziza, Johanna Putri, and others. First of all, let me thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Taala who has given us mercies and blessing today, so that we can meet again in the best of health and iman. Dear sisters and brothers, time goes very fast. Yeah, we has been in the 14 weeks or 13 week of this semesters. And for your information, Rian and friends, you taking this course not only for the applied economics, but you have practical application of economics. Don't forget on it. So please also open your my class in terms of the practical applications. And if I'm not mistaken, I give you homeworks to have a presentation in the early of January. I'm waiting for your report so far. And don't forget to present on the early of January next year. So the detail has been available in the practical applications. If you feel that you have any barriers or lacking of information, please don't hesitate to interact with me. Okay, before I start, do you have any informations, Dafala, Barik, Adisena, and others? Do you have anything that you want to talk? Rafif? Rafif, any question, Rafif? Before we start?
No, sir.
Okay, we start now, Rafif. Please open your My Class and don't forget to take attendance of your My Class, either for this course and practical application of macroeconomics. Okay, let me see here. We start with the 13th meeting about investment. So I guess that all of you here have understood about investment. But we try to look at this material from the theoretical point of view, and in this chapter you will learn about leading theories to explain each of investment, what type of investment, and why investment is negatively related to interest rate, and things that shape the investment function, and the last one, why investment rises during booms and falls during recessions. So we will discuss about business cycles. And short overview. Rian, what do you know about investment, Rian? What is investment, Rian?
Such saving your money, sir.
Yes, investment basically is the ability of the individual like you and I, Barik, to spend less, to spend less the money or the incomes, and transform this income into investment. So in other words, you spend less your consumptions, so you do have more portion for savings. And this saving, after that, will be converted into investment in instruments. So this is just the short about investment, and literally we have three kind of investment: business, residential, and inventory. Business here related with the equipments, residential here with the housing, and inventory here in terms of goods. So all of them are types of investment. And here, Rian and others, if you understand about investment here, you have to understand about MPK, interest rate, and tax. Because investment here related with the demand side. Demand side. And for simplicity, assume two type of firms. We have two type of firms: production firms and rental firms. Yeah. So all of them are basically producing goods and services. So in this context, investment is the rental firm spending on the new capital goods. So investment here, Rian, is basically spending the new capital goods. So you attract a new capital in order to be converted into another instruments or another investment instruments. And if you talk about this one, we talk about the graphical illustration here. So you have rental price, you have capital. So capital here related with the investment, yeah. And you have here the negative slope, capital demands. Capital demands means the demand for capital, and you have capital supply, yeah, the supply of capital. So here is the equilibrium. Yeah, you have the intersection between the supply and demand, and on this section you have the equilibrium of capital and equilibrium of rental rate. Rental rate here is the price of capital. Yeah, the price of capital. So formally, yeah, you can understand the investment by taking the Cobb-Douglas production function. Cobb-Douglas. You have Y, A, Q, L1 minus A. Yeah. So I guess that you have learned in your macroeconomics perspective. Yeah. And Y here is here, yeah, will be the MPK, marginal propensity to capital, yeah, to capital. And here is the first derivation. What does it mean, Rian? It means that, yeah, the equilibrium of R over P is rental rate. Yeah, rental rate here, rental price would increase if K decline. So if the K here decline, shifting to the left, yeah, shifting to the left, so the price of rental, the price of capital will here, yeah, will decrease. So if the R over P here increase here, so the capital will decrease. So why it happens? It happens because the lack of supply. Maybe Rian and friends, you can just take a proxy in the case of good markets. Yeah. For example, in the mid of pandemic right now, the supply of masks, yeah, face masks, is declining. So what happens then? The price will be increasing. Yeah. The same with this. When the capital here depleting, yeah, the capital depleting, decreasing, so it means that the supply of capital become very strained, yeah, very little, yeah, small. By assuming that the demand is not changed that much, so it will increase the price of capital. And the second one is labor, yeah, labor increasing, yeah. So because the labor increasing here, yeah, so the wages that paid to the labor will be increased. So because the wage increase, yeah, so the firms will ask more money, yeah, to pay them. So it will impact to the lack of capital, isn't it? Yeah, lack of capital. So the lack of capital here will increase the rental rate. Yeah, rental rate. And the next one is technological improvements or the regulations. So once the regulation here improve, yeah, the A here increase, technology increase. So the capital here will decrease because the firms invested so much money to improve the technological improvements. So automatically it will decrease the price of rental, the price of capitals. Yeah. So here is the another relationship. Why the rental rate here, the price of capital increases. Any questions so far? Okay. The next one here is rental firms investment decisions. Yeah. So how to have decisions in terms of the rental firms investment. So look at this. Rental firms invest in a new capital when the benefit of doing so exceed the cost. So the principle, general principle is the benefits exceeds the cost. So it will promote the firms to have more investment amount. The benefit here, yeah, R of P, the income that rental firms earn from renting the unit of capital out to production firms. It means that the amount of good produced is higher compared to the rental firms. Yeah. So it means that if the firm selling the goods, yeah, to this market, the profit is higher compared to the rental rate, because rental rate here is considered to be the cost. Yeah. So once the price or the profit is higher compared to the R of a P, so the investment decision will be taken care of. And the cost of capital is actually based on several components. Yeah. If you are having capital, what that should be the cost of capital? The first is interest rate, the interest cost. So the interest rate here, basically the cost for the capital. The more interest rate, the more cost would be. Yeah. And the second one, depreciation cost. So it happens to the fixed asset. Yeah. For example, building, houses. Yeah. So once you retain this fixed asset, the depreciation cost will be much more higher. Yeah. And last one is capital loss. Capital loss here because of the inflation, for example. Sisters and brothers, right now you are handing money in your wallet. Yeah. So once right now you are having 100,000 rupiahs. With the inflation rate, perhaps right now is 3%. So would it be remaining 100,000 rupiahs once the inflation increases to the 6%? I don't think so, because the money that you handing at the moment, actually the purchasing power is decreasing over time because of the inflation accelerations. So it happens if this money is considered to be the capital loss, if the capital, yeah. So you don't have any enough capital because your money has been lost in terms of the purchasing power. So the total cost of the capital is the sums of these three parts. So if you add up these three components, so it will be accumulatively as the cost of capital. Here is the cost of capital. If you try to add up, yeah, so this one is the formula. For example, suppose that PK, yeah, PK is the price of capital, $10,000. The I is 0.1. Depreciation is 0.2, and the change of the price, the change of the capital 0.06. So then interest costnya berapa? 1,000, ya, 1,000. 0.1 times 10,000. Depreciation costnya 0.2 times 10,000, 2,000. Capital loss is 0.06 times 10,000. So you have 600. So the total cost due to these conditions is 2,400. So if you have 10,000 capital because of these conditions, yeah, so you will lose around 204,000. It means that you only have around $7,600. Yeah. So here is the cost of capital, another formula you can read by your own. Yeah. Any questions so far, sisters and brothers, until these terms? Ariba, Mbak Nuha, or Dafala? If you have any question, don't hesitate to just interrupt, yeah, or just cut off. Yes, Barik. Any question, Barik?
No, not yet, sir.
Okay. Okay, I continue again. Sorry for disturbing. Okay, next one is the rental firm's profit rate right now. So you initially you have understood about the capital, yeah, and now how the rental firm's profit rate, how to calculate the profit rate. Yeah, the firm net investment depends on the profit rate. So if you want to have more investment, so you have to be able to generate more profit. Yeah, because the profit somehow it will be going to be add up your capital formations. The profit rate here is R over P minus P. Yeah, this is the formula. Yeah, whereby this R over P is the MPK, MPK minus PK over P R plus depreciation. So if the profit rate more than 0, then it is profitable to firm to increase K. Yeah, I think it makes sense. Yeah, the more profit that the firm can be generated, so it will be increasing the capital. If the profit rate less than 0, then the firm increases profit by reducing the capital stocks. I think you agree with me. So if for example the firms here, they are lost because of the pandemics, in order to make the firm keep running the business, so the firm will take some stock of the capital in order to be able to maintain the operations. So in this case, the firm will reduce the capital by not replacing it as depreciation. Yeah, it means that the capital will be lower. So net investment and gross investment. Yeah. So here is net investment. It means that delta K minus this one. Yeah. Whereby this IA is the function showing how net investment respond to the incentive to invest. So it means that the more incentive given, the more net investment will increase. Total spending on business fixed investment equal net investment plus the replacement of depreciated capital. So here is the formula. Yeah. So next one here is the investment functions. The first one here. So you see here, sisters and brothers, the vertical axis is interest rate and the horizontal axis is investment. So you have here negative slope. Yeah, the slope is negative, look like demand curve, and an increase in R. So the R is increased from R1 to the R2. So it will decrease the investment. Yeah, raises the cost of capital, reduces the profit rate, and reduces investment. So, but in my perspective, actually, sisters and brothers, once the interest rate increase, yeah, actually, it will decrease the ability of economy to run. Yeah. So because the higher of interest rate basically the compensation of the decrease in the economic activities. So you see, Rian and friend, if interest rate increases, in macroeconomic perspective, the risk of economy is increasing at the moment. The risk is increasing. So because of the risk increases, so it should be compensated by the increase of interest rate. Because interest rate here basically is the compensation for the money that save in the bank, that deposited in the banks. So in order to maintain or keep the depositors in the banks, so the interest rate must be increasing, yeah, even though the economy is not that good. So once the interest rate increase here, so it will impact to the capacity of the economy to run. Yeah, for example, the businesses, yeah, very difficult then to pay back because they have to pay more in terms of interest charge. So once the firms here pay the interest rate much more than before, so it means that the capacity of the firms to produce goods and services will be decreasing. So and that on that case, on that conditions, though it will be responded by the investment amount. So the investment here will decrease from I1 to the I2. So investment here basically is the impact of the increase of the interest rate and the way around. Yeah. And investment function here, you have here the formula. An increase in the MPK. MPK is marginal propensity to capital, or decrease in PK of a pay. Yeah, the price of capital, I may say. So increase the profit rate. So if the MPK here increase, So it will impact to the increase in profit rate, yeah, increase investment and shift I to the right, like this, yeah. So if investment function here shift to the right, yeah, it means that the price of capital, yeah, is decreasing. The price of capital decreasing, PK over P. Yeah, PK over P is price of capital decreasing, or marginal propensity to capital increases. So it will shift to the left, to the right. Yeah. Any questions? Next one, we move to the Tobin-Q theory. Yeah. So Tobin-Q here basically tries to explain about market value of installed capital of replacement cost of installed capital. Yeah. So numerator is here. Yeah. Pembilang. Yeah. The stock market value of the economic capital stocks. The stock market value, the amount of stock markets. Denominator here penyebut the actual cost to replace the capital goods that were purchased when the stock was issued. It means that the real value of the capital. Yeah. So if the Q more than 1, firms buy more capital to raise the market value of the firm. So if the Q here positive, it means that the market value is exceeding the real price. So it means that the price of stock market, the price of stock is cheaper. Yeah. So if a Q positive, the price of stock is cheaper, so that the firm will buy more capital in order to raise the market values. And the way around, if the Q less than 1, firm do not replace capital because the price of the market is very expensive. Yeah. So here, just to measure to what extent the market value of the particular capital markets. And the next one is relation between Q theory and neoclassical theory. Yeah. So the stock market value of capital depend on the current expected future profit of capital. So if you talk about the stock market value, IHSG, Indeks Harga Saham Gabungan, actually is influenced by the current profits of the firms and future profit of the firms. Yeah. So if the MPK here is the ability of the capital to be converted into profit. So if I give you another easy understanding, MPK is ability of the capital to be converted into profit is more than cost of capital. Yeah. So it means that the productivity of the firms is good. Yeah. So then the profit rate is high, which drives up the stock market value of the firms, which implies a high value of Q. And the way around, if the MPK less than cost of capital, it means that the capital of the firms, yeah, very not profitable, yeah, not profitable. So less than cost of capital. So then firms are incurring losses. Yeah, so the stock market value falls. So if you find the stock market of one particular firms going down, it means that the capital of the stock, yeah, of the stock market is getting lower and lower. So it means that the capital of the firms is not able to be converted into profit. So the firm is failed to convert its capital into profitable value. Yeah. Therefore, the price of stock market becomes lower, not productive. Yeah, not productive at all. Or the risk of the stock, the risk of that firms is getting rises. Yeah. Okay, here the stock market and GDP. Yeah. Why one might expect a relationship between the stock market and GDP? Yeah. So a wave of pessimism about future profitability of capital would cause stock market to fall. So you have to look at the expected future profitability of capital. Yeah. So when you have capital, So, and you put this capital into particular firms. So what the prospect of the firms in the future, whether good or not, yeah. And cause Tobin Q to fall. Tobin Q means the price of capital, the price of stock, yeah, to fall, and shift the investment function down. So the investment function becomes less interesting, yeah, and cause a negative aggregate demand shocks. So it means that the demand shift to the left, demand curve shift to the left, yeah. So why one might expect a relationship between the stock market and GDP when a fall in stock price would fall in stock prices, reduce household wealth, yeah, and shift the consumption function down, yeah, and causes a negative aggregate demand shocks. Yeah, the same formula with the previous one, yeah, negative aggregate demand shocks. And why one might expect a relationship between the stock market and GDP? A fall in stock price might reflect bad news about technological progress and long-term economic growth. So therefore, you can see stock market as a signaling, process actually. When the stock market going down, so that the signals that the economy in the long run not that good. It implies that aggregate supply and full employment output will be expanding, yeah, and others, yeah. Any questions so far, sisters, brothers? Okay, next, yeah, financing constraint. Neoclassical theory assumes firms can borrow to buy capital whenever doing so is profitable. So the firm can borrow to anybody, anyone, yeah, including firms as well. But some firms face financing constraints. They're difficult to borrow. Limits on the amount they can borrow or otherwise raised in the financial markets. Yeah. A recession reduces current profit. If future profit expected to be high, it may be worthwhile to continue to invest. But if firm faces financing constraint, then the firm might be unable to obtain funds due to the current profit being low. Yeah. So it is related with the ability of the firms to get new sources of fund actually. Yeah. So the easily of the firms get another fund, so it will guarantee the continuation of his operations and the way around. So you need to think of it as well. And residential investment, related with the residential investment, depends on the relative price of housing. So PH of a P. So PH of P is determined by supply and demand in the market for existing houses. So if you are the property investors, you have to look at the PH of a P here. To what extent, how much the supply and demand in the market of existing houses, whether the supply is more compared to demand and the way around, like that, yeah. And here, illustration of the residential investment, yeah, is determined. Here is the supply of housing, it's demand of housing here. The supply and demand for houses determines the equilibrium price of houses. So actually, how much the houses that you should pay, it depends on the supply and demand here. Yeah, the equilibrium prices of houses then determines residential investment. Yeah, so if the demand here quite high, so for example, the demand here move upwards to here, so it means that the price of house getting higher, and it will attract the investors to have investment in residential. Yeah, and the yeah, so the supply here will be higher. Yeah, will be higher, and the way around, if the demand here quite slow, so the supply here will be lower. Yeah. Now here, just another explanation, how residential investment respond to the fall interest rate. So here the supply increase, the demand increase, so the supply will increase. Yeah. Once demand increase, supply increase. And the next one, the last one is about tax. Yeah. So the tax code in effect subsidize home ownership by allowing people to deduct mortgage interest. So the tax here actually will reduce the mortgage interest. So if the tax increase, anybody will quite reluctant, yeah, to purchase the mortgage. The mortgage or the house. The reduction applies to the nominal mortgage rate. So the subsidy is higher when inflation and nominal mortgage rate are high than they were low. So if the mortgage means that the price of mortgage is the bound, yeah, the bond rate increases, yeah. So it means that the inflation at the moment was increasing as well. The inflation at the moment was increasing. So when the inflation increase, the nominal mortgage also increases. Yeah, because the increase of nominal mortgage here is the compensation of the increase of inflation. Yeah. Some economists think this subsidy causes overinvestment in housing relative to the other forms of capital. So if the government tries to give subsidy in terms of investment, so it will make the overinvestment. Yeah, the people will see that this investment is profitable. Yeah, even though the reality is no longer profitable. But eliminating the mortgage interest reduction would be politically difficult. So it means that the government always give the incentive actually. So in order to give the economy good positive signals, yeah, not only for the investors but also to the economy itself. And the last one here, you have inventory investment. So inventory investment is only about 1% of GDP, yet the typical recession more than half of the fall in spending due to the fall inventory. Inventory means persediaan. Yeah. So motive for holding inventory basically is good not yet completed that are counted as a part of inventory. So you have inventory, you have gudang, yeah, warehouse, yeah, warehouse to protect your incompleted goods, yeah. So but it's just 1% of GDP, not that much. And the next one is we go to the accelerator model, yeah. So accelerator model here basically is inventory investment is proportional to the change in input. So when output is rising, firm increase their inventories. I think you agree with me. So if when the output rising, output mean the goods is rising, the firm increase the inventories in order to supply constantly, yeah, the output. And when output is falling, firm allow their inventory to run down, because if the output is falling, the firm will not willing to bear more costs. Yeah, so this condition called accelerator model. Yeah, so accelerator model here will be the stock of inventories, yeah, and inventory investment. So assume firm hold a stock of inventories proportional to their input. So the N here is the function of the beta times Y. Y is output, beta is proportion, and is stock of inventories. So stock of inventories here basically proportion of the output. The more output, the more inventories. The less output, the less inventories. Where B is exogenous parameter reflecting firm desired stock of inventory as a proportion of output. So here is the desired of the investors. To what extent he will stock the inventories, 1%, 2%, or 100%. It depends on their preference. Yeah. And next one is inventories and the real interest rate. Yeah. So the opportunity cost of holding goods in inventory, the interest that could have been earned on the revenue from selling those goods. This is opportunity cost. Hence, inventory depend on the real interest rate. Real interest rate means the return that coming from the sell and buy of the goods and services. Yeah, to what extent the goods and services that sold here influencing the inventory investment. For example, high interest rate in 1980s motivated many firms to adopt just-in-time production. In time means only once productions, which is designed to reduce inventories. So the firm tried to make it fast. No any inventories take place at the moment. So here just the example to what extent the inventory here depended on the real interest rate. Real interest rate here is to what extent the goods and services are circulated in the economy itself. And the next one is summary. Yeah, we almost finished. So all type of investment depends negatively on the real interest rate. The real interest rate here is the goods and services that accumulated and circulated in the economy. Things that shift the investment function, yeah, technological improvement, rises MPK. MPK is the ability of the firms to convert the capital into profit and raise business fixed investment. Increase in population rises demand for prices of houses and rises residential investment. And economic policies, yeah, alter change incentive to invest. And investment is the most volatile component of the GDP of the business cycles. So investment is the volatile component in the GDP. Fluctuation in employment affect the MPK and the incentive for business fixed investment. Fluctuation in income affect demand for price of housing and the incentive for irrational investment. Fluctuation, yeah? And the fluctuation in output affect planned and unplanned inventory investment. So it means that any fluctuation in the GDP, it will impact the investment itself. In other words, investment is highly related with the GDP. High GDP, high investment. Lower GDP, lower investment. Yeah. I think that's all, sisters and brothers, today's discussions. If you have any question and inquiries or feedbacks, you are most welcome, please. Any questions, please? Ariba, if you have any question, please. Dafala, clear? Or dizzy? So, yeah, I know that you are still digesting the materials. Yeah, I know that the material is quite hard, yeah, to understand. But in simply, yeah, in simplicity, this topic basically tries to cover the issue of how you manage the capital. Yeah, the capital here related with the investment. And it's in the investment here related with the GDP. GDP here related with the output. Yeah. And the output here related with the demands. Yeah. Demand and supply. So this one just the thing that we are discussing with you just now. Okay, Rafif, you have any feedback? Or Engra or Fadia, Lutfi, Naufal, Nuha, please. All clear? Okay, if clear, I want to open the another information about practical applications. Yeah. Okay, let me open first for your informations. So here is our meeting right now. So we are in the 13 weeks. Yeah, because last week we didn't have class. And tomorrow, next week, we'll be here next week. And then the next week will be advances in business cycles. And we will end around 5 January 2022. Yeah, next 3 weeks. Rian and friends. So here is the information about our applied economics. And the next one about practical applications that I want to inform you as well. Could you please open your My Class? Yeah, just to remind you as well. The practical application here, if you can see from the screen, yeah. Here, I wish that you open every single weeks, yeah, because this information basically equip you about the technical things, about macroeconomic calculation. For example, here we have computing national income, calculating economic growth, yeah. Please do open here per weeks. And don't forget to record your attendance as well, yeah, every week. Yeah, please do it until the end. Yeah, so I put here some practical skills, computing balance sheet, for example, computing balance of payments. Yeah, please do open and go through every weeks. And we have also the last here, calculation fiscal and monetary equilibrium, for example. Yeah, and also we have paper assignment, don't forget. Here, Rian, yeah, the first one. I will open for you. So here, yeah. This course is run through some practical understanding and some issues of macroeconomics. And the end of the course, you are assigned to come up with the paper and presentation with the details are available in the course syllabus. In terms of attendance, please start from week 10. Yeah. So here the paper submission, you can submit your paper assignment here. And the detail, please see the course outline. Here the course outline, yeah. So here, terms of writing paper, individual assignments, paper is written by selecting one of these topics. Please choose one of these topics, yeah, that you feel that you are capable of. Writing guidance, paper is limited maximum 25 pages. Paper must have abstract, must have keywords, is sent with the MS words, yeah. And then paper must contain according to following formats, yeah. This one the format. Please use Mendeley, and you will be assessed through format, deep analysis, policy recommendation, and presentations. And the best paper and presentation will be given rewards. The due date for this one is 31st of December, next 8 days. And presentation will be a week after the submission due date. Yeah, please don't forget, sisters and brothers. Okay, any questions so far? Any question, feedbacks? Please. Cukup kira-kira?
I think it's clear, sir.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much, Barik Ariba, for your attendance. Yeah, Rian Davala, Sister Engracia Putri Johana, Fadiah Nur Azizah Sahrini, Lutfia Salma Amanda, Muhammad Rian Davala, Naufal Iqbaluddin Hanafi, Nuha Adena Zahra. Ya, Nuha ini namanya bagus sekali. Rafif Farustama. Mana Rafif ya? Rafif ini perlu kita panggil dulu nih, Rafif nih. Rafif, masih di sana Rafif?
Masih Pak, masih.
Yang mana Rafif? Ini Rian sudah lupa sama Anda nih. Kalau nggak di on kan kameranya.
Kayak gini Pak.
Hah? Yang mana Rafif?
Yang ini Pak. Oh, enggak.
Yang mana? Coba. Oh iya, wah ini langsung terang ini ya. Backgroundnya di belakangnya pemandangan alam, ya.
Kayak ilahi.
Kalau Mas Barik ini backgroundnya kayaknya di kid zone ini kayaknya ya. Kalau Davala ini kayaknya suka jalan-jalan ini, ya. Rafif ini kayaknya lagi fresh di belakangnya ini. Oke, Rafif, any question Rafif so far?
Not yet, sir.
Rafif nih kayaknya di rumah kayaknya jarang kemana-mana ya, agak semangat saya lihat. Ya, kalau Rian agak kurusan, Rafif agak gemukan saya lihat nih, sama kayak Barik ini, kayaknya happy di rumah kayaknya. Ya. Kalau bisa semester depan sudah di Jogja semua lah teman-teman ini ya, biar bisa berjibaku lah. Ya, masa Anda jadi produk online kan? Iya. Kalau bisa semester hadapan Mas Rafif sudah bisa berjibaku lah ya, walaupun masih riwa-riwi online tapi kan minimal menikmati udara Jogja ya Mas Rafif ya. Sama Davala juga ya, Barik ya, Nuha, Noval semuanya. Gitu. Oke, that's all Rafif and Barik and Rian and friends ya. Jangan lupa tugasnya, kalau ada pertanyaan silakan ditanya dengan saya. Jumpa lagi minggu hadapan di waktu yang sama. Saya akhiri, terima kasih banyak ya Rafif ya dan teman-teman sekalian. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, sir.
Yes, silakan. Sama-sama, terima kasih. Wah, Enggra baru muncul, Enggranya udah selesai. Ya.